The air always felt heavy there. Not in a bad way, just full of memories, full of quiet respect. I visit the memorial wall once a year. It's a promise I made to myself, to remember. This day was like any other. Sunny, with a gentle breeze. But then I saw him. He stood a little way off from me. An older gentleman. His back was straight, but his shoulders seemed to carry an immense weight. He wasn't looking at any particular name. Not yet, he just stood there, staring at the expanse of polished stone. And then I saw his shoulders shake, just a little at first, then more. He brought a hand up to his face. I knew that gesture. I knew that pain. My heart ached for him. I wanted to go over, to say something. But what could I say? Words felt so small in a place like this. He took a shaky breath. He reached out a trembling finger. He traced a name on the wall. I couldn't see which one, but I could feel his sorrow from where I stood. It was raw, it was deep. Tears were streaming down his face now. He didn't try to hide them. He didn't seem to care who saw. He was lost in his own world of grief, lost with the name under his fingertip. I looked away for a moment. It felt too private, too sacred to watch so openly. I focused on a name I knew, my own reason for being there, but my thoughts kept drifting back to the veteran. How long had he carried this pain? Decades by the look of him. Decades of silent remembering, perhaps. Then I saw movement near him. Out of the corner of my eye, someone was approaching him from behind. My first thought was, oh no, please don't disturb him. Let him have his moment. I tensed up a little. It was a young woman. She moved quietly, gently. She reached out and tapped him on the shoulder. The veteran startled. He quickly wiped his eyes. He turned. His face was etched with grief, but also confusion. Who was this person? Why was she interrupting this deeply personal moment? I held my breath. The young woman didn't say anything. She just held out a small folded piece of paper. A note. He looked at the note, then at her, then back at the note. He hesitated for a long moment. Then slowly he took it. His hand was still shaking. The young woman gave a small sad smile. And then as quickly as she had appeared, she turned and walked away. She disappeared into the small crowd of visitors. The veteran stood there, note in hand. He looked down at it. He seemed unsure what to do. Should he open it? Was it a mistake? Was it meant for someone else? I watched him. I couldn't help it. My curiosity was mixed with a deep sense of empathy. What could that note possibly say? He unfolded it carefully. His eyes scanned the paper. And then everything about him changed. His shoulders, which had been slumped in sorrow, straightened. His head, bowed in grief, lifted. His eyes, red from crying, widened. Not in fear, but in something else. Disbelief? Shock? Hope? It was hard to tell from a distance. But the change was undeniable. The heavy cloud of sorrow around him seemed to lift, just a fraction. He read the note again, and again. His lips moved silently, as if tasting the words. He looked up, searching for the young woman, but she was long gone. He looked back at the wall, at the name he had been touching, then back at the note. A whirlwind of emotions seemed to be passing over his face. He clutched the note to his chest, as if it were the most precious thing in the world. I knew I shouldn't. I knew it was probably best to leave him alone, but I couldn't. Something pulled me towards him. Maybe it was the shared air of remembrance. Maybe it was just simple human connection. I walked over slowly. "Excuse me," I said softly. "Are you all right?" He looked at me. His eyes were still wet, but there was a new light in them. A spark. He seemed dazed. I think so," he stammered. He held up the note. This note. What did it say?" I asked, trying to keep my voice gentle. He looked at me, then down at the note again, as if still trying to believe it was real. She knew him. His voice was thick with emotion. "The girl who gave me this. She knew my friend." My heart skipped a beat. "Your friend?" I asked, gesturing towards the wall. He nodded, his gaze distant. "David. We served together. Lost him. A long time ago." He paused, his voice trembling. "Every year I come, every year it's like saying goodbye all over again. But this," he unfolded the note again. And though I didn't mean to pry, I could see a few words, simple handwriting. "David talked about you. He called you Artie." Artie. So that was his name, or his nickname. "She knew his nickname for you?" I asked, astonished. He nodded, a single tear tracing a new path down his weathered cheek. No one else called me Artie. Only David. He looked around again, a desperate hope in his eyes. I have to find her. The girl. I have to know. A new energy seemed to fill him. The deep sorrow was still there, a shadow behind his eyes. But now there was something else. A purpose. A question that needed an answer. Did you see where she went? He asked me. I shook my head. She was gone so quickly. I'm sorry. He looked crestfallen for a moment. Then his resolve hardened. I can't just let this go. This is a sign. After all these years. I understood. If someone had given me a note like that, a note that connected me to a lost loved one in such an unexpected way, I would move heaven and earth to find out more. Maybe, I suggested, we could ask around. Did anyone else see her, describe her? Arthur. I decided to call him Arthur in my mind, seized on the idea. Yes, good idea. We spent the next hour talking to the park rangers, to other visitors. A few people remembered seeing a young woman, dark hair, maybe in her early 20s, but no one knew her. No one saw where she went. After leaving the memorial grounds, it was like she had vanished into thin air. Arthur was starting to look defeated again. The spark in his eyes was dimming. Don't give up, I said more firmly than I intended. There has to be a way. He looked at me, a flicker of gratitude in his eyes. You're very kind. You don't even know me. We're here for the same reasons, I think, I said softly. To remember. And sometimes remembering means seeking. We sat on a nearby bench. Arthur told me about David. They had grown up together, joined the army together, fought side by side. David had saved Arthur's life once. Arthur had been there when David didn't make it. He carried that guilt, that grief, like a physical burden. He was the best friend a man could ask for. Arthur said, his voice thick. And that girl, she said he talked about me. A small sad smile touched his lips. He remembered me too. The note was simple. David talked about you. He called you Artie. He wouldn't want you to suffer alone. He's at peace. Perhaps you can be too. And then a phone number at the bottom. My eyes widened. A phone number. Arthur, there's a phone number. He looked at the note again, his eyes squinting. By golly, you're right. My eyes aren't what they used to be. I was so focused on the words. His hand trembled as he pulled out an old-fashioned flip phone. He painstakingly typed in the number. He pressed call. He put the phone to his ear. We waited. It felt like an eternity. It's ringing, he whispered. Then I saw his face change. Someone had answered. Hello? Arthur said, his voice raspy. Hello. My name is Arthur, Arthur Miller. I was at the memorial wall today. A young woman gave me a note. He listened. His eyes grew wider. He nodded. Yes, that was me. He listened again. A long pause. Then he said, Could I meet you? Please? I have so many questions. Another pause. I could hear the faint murmur of a female voice on the other end. Yes, Arthur said. Tomorrow. That would be wonderful. Thank you. Oh, thank you. He hung up. He looked at me, his face a mixture of disbelief and overwhelming joy. She'll meet me, he said, his voice barely a whisper. Her name is Lily. She's David's granddaughter. David's granddaughter. The words hung in the air. David, who had died so young. He had a granddaughter. How was that possible? Arthur was just as stunned. He never married. Not that I knew of. He never mentioned a child. Maybe he didn't know, I suggested gently. Or maybe it was complicated. The next day I went with Arthur. He'd asked me to. For support, he said. I felt strangely invested in his story now. We met Lily in a small quiet coffee shop. She was young as I'd thought. Dark, kind eyes. She looked nervous, but also determined. Mr. Miller, she said, her voice soft. Arthur, thank you for meeting me. No, thank you, Arthur said, his voice choked with emotion. Thank you for the note, for everything. Lily smiled faintly. My grandmother. She passed away a few months ago. Going through her things, I found a box. It was full of letters and photos from my grandfather, David. Arthur leaned forward. Your grandmother, who was she? Her name was Sarah, Lily explained. She and David, they were in love. Just before he deployed for the last time. It was all very fast. She found out she was pregnant after he was gone. Arthur's eyes were wide. He never knew. Lily shook her head. No, she never got the chance to tell him. And then she heard he was killed in action. She was devastated. She raised my mother on her own. She always told my mom about David, about how brave he was, how kind. Lily paused, taking a sip of water. My grandmother kept everything. Letters he sent her from basic training, from overseas, and one letter. It wasn't addressed to her. It was addressed to my best friend, Artie. Arthur gasped. He put his hand to his mouth. Lily reached into her bag and pulled out an old creased envelope. It was yellowed with age. The handwriting was faded but clear. To Artie. She never knew how to find you. Lily continued. Back then, it wasn't easy. No internet, no social media. She tried, I think, but life moved on. She remarried eventually. But she never forgot David. And she kept this letter. She told my mom, if you ever find Artie, give this to him. Lily's mother had also kept the promise. And now Lily was fulfilling it. When my mom gave me the box, Lily said, she told me about the wall, how veterans sometimes visit. I don't know why, but I just had a feeling. I started going there, on weekends, just watching, hoping. I didn't know what you looked like, only your name, Artie, from the letter, and from my grandmother's stories. Yesterday, when I saw you, when I saw your grief, I just knew, it had to be you. Arthur was speechless. Tears were flowing freely now, but these were different tears, not just sorrow. There was wonder in them, and a profound sense of connection. Lily gently pushed the letter across the table. This is for you, Arthur. He picked it up with trembling hands. He stared at the familiar handwriting, his best friend's handwriting, a message from the past, from beyond the grave. He looked at Lily, then at me. Could you give me a moment? Of course, I said. Lily nodded. We both stood up and walked towards the counter, pretending to look at pastries, giving him privacy. I glanced back. Arthur had opened the letter. He was reading it. His shoulders were shaking again. But this time, when he looked up, there was a small watery smile on his face. A smile of peace, of understanding. After a few minutes, he beckoned us back. His eyes were red, but clear. He knew, Arthur said, his voice soft. He always knew how much our friendship meant. He told me not to blame myself for what happened. He said it was just war. He told me to live a full life, for both of us. He looked at Lily, and he wrote about your grandmother, about Sarah. He said he loved her. He hoped she would be happy. Lily's eyes filled with tears. He did. Arthur nodded. He hoped he would come back and marry her, start a family. He paused. He got part of his wish, didn't he? He has you, a beautiful granddaughter. Lily smiled through her tears. My grandmother always said he was a good man. The best, Arthur agreed, his voice firm. The letter didn't change what happened. It didn't bring David back. But it changed something in Arthur. The guilt he had carried for so long, the unanswered questions, the raw edges of his grief. They seemed to have softened, replaced by a sense of closure, a connection that transcended time and loss. David hadn't just been a name on a wall for him anymore. Through Lily, and through that final letter, David felt present, alive in memory, and in legacy. Arthur reached across the table, and took Lily's hand. Thank you, he said. You've given me a gift I can never repay. Knowing my grandfather's best friend, that's a gift to me too. Lily replied. We stayed in the coffee shop for another hour. Arthur and Lily talked. They shared stories. Arthur told Lily about the boy David had been, the pranks they pulled, their dreams. Lily told Arthur about her grandmother, about her own life. It was like watching two ends of a circle finally connect. As we left, Arthur walked a little taller. The immense weight on his shoulders seemed lighter. He looked at me. You know, he said. I always felt him there, at the wall. But today it feels different. He's not just a memory I visit. He's part of me, and part of her. He smiled. A genuine peaceful smile. My heart felt full. I had gone to the wall to remember my own loss. But I had found myself part of someone else's journey. A journey of healing, of unexpected connections. Sometimes, a simple tap on the shoulder, a folded note, can change everything. It can bridge decades of silence. It can mend a broken heart. It can remind us that even in our deepest grief, we are not truly alone, and that love and friendship can find a way to reach us, even when we least expect it. The names on that wall are more than just names. They are stories. Stories of love, of sacrifice, and sometimes, if we're lucky, those stories continue in the most surprising ways. Arthur's story, and David's, and Lily's. It was a story I would never forget. We hope this story touched your heart. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced an unexpected connection like this? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories. And please share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to life. Thank you for watching.